morning and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be talking about a subject today, the circle of life, which I did an intro video a little while back. But today I'm going to break it down and get a little more personal. I'm going to talk more about my own personal circle of life to help you see kind of how this can be used as a tool to identify things in your life that may be dragging you down that you don't realize, and how important our primary foods are as far as affecting our health and maybe the things that might be hindering you from reaching your health and fitness goals. So with that being said, we're going to focus in on my circle of life, and then I'm going to break down all the categories and give you a quick summary of my own personal journey with each one of those, like where I am. So if you'll look, this is how my circle looks. Of course, obviously, a more round circle identifies that you're healthier, happier. But certainly this helps you to identify areas that you could work on. You can do your own circle, and it's just a quick little reference. You move the dots, you place them where, and it'll draw you a circle. Just to give you an idea of where you are. This is something to be completely honest with yourself about. It's between you and yourself. I mean, it's not something you have to share with anyone else. So it's something to be completely honest about. So I want to talk now and kind of break down each of the spots. And so let's just start. I'm going to start with spirituality. I definitely have, and I think this is something that every person has their own opinion about, and I certainly respect anyone's opinion about their spiritual journey. Mine is a very personal relationship with Christ. I believe that He died for me, and I want to have a personal relationship. And for the last, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 years, I've really been working on that. I've been working on spiritual growth. I've been working on my prayer life, journaling, Bible study, all the things that I feel like will help enhance that relationship. So I feel pretty confident in this area, at least as far as growth goes. Certainly, there's always room to improve to me in your spiritual journey, but I feel like I'm on a path that I'm satisfied with in that area at this point. I think it's something you need to look at for yourself. So I'm in a traditional church setting. I'm satisfied with that. My youngest daughter is going to take a different journey into a more house church setting. There are so many options when it comes to your spiritual journey and things you can look at, and everyone's can be a little different, and that's okay. So I think it's just important that you figure out where you're at on that path and that you're making gains and growing in that area. The second area I want to talk about is social life. I'm not a huge social person. I have a few close friends. My circle is really small. At 50, I've learned that friends often come and go in your life. We all use each other, let's be honest, for things that we might need in a certain season of life. And as we grow and change, that circle changes. I'm very satisfied with that. I'm not interested in, I guess, popularity in the social arena. But I do want to say something here. This is different than social media. I think if you're not careful, we get our social life mixed in with our social media, Facebook and Instagram. People live very different lives on there, and if you're not careful, if that is your social outlet, then you may end up discouraged with that. People put their best self out there on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever you're following. So just be aware of that. If you find yourself being depressed in this area, look at how you're spending that time. I think quality in-person relationships are certainly the best to pursue, and keep your circle small and recognize that not everybody's your best friend, and that's okay. We can be casual acquaintances without having to be intimate friends, and that's a good thing. So socially, I feel confident. I don't have any issues in this area. Moving on to joy. Now let's talk about joy. What is joy? So I looked it up, see what the definition is. It's defined, first of all, as a noun. It's defined as a feeling of great pleasure or happiness. As a verb, rejoice. I thought that was interesting because I equate joy with Christ. I feel like in order for me to have joy in my life, my relationship with Christ has to be in the right area. And there's other things in my life like my giving, my Bible study, my prayer time. All of those things have to be in a good alignment for me to feel that true joy. There's things that bring me joy, like a a Christian song on the radio. I have a few that I go to if I need a lift, and they bring me joy. They lift me up into a more happy, content place. I think joy is contentment. And for me at 50, I feel like I'm reaching that area where I'm recognizing that joy is not in the things I have, but it's in the relationships and the people in my life. And also, like I said, the spiritual journey that I'm on really is what I lean on to bring joy. I'm also finding that for me, giving is providing more joy in my life. So I'm trying to work on, I of course tithe to my church. I think that's important, but also extra giving, supporting causes that are important to me. So I think that we can find joy in all kinds of things, and I think it looks different for every person. That's something that each of us has to examine, and I believe that our joy is going to change depending on what phase of life we're in. It's reassessing this often and deciding how you need to change and grow in order to have that joy in the season that you're in right now. Now, some of these I'm going to go through pretty quick. Relationships, I don't have an issue there. Of course, all families have their issues sometimes, and mine's certainly not above that. But I feel like at this point, with regard to relationships, the ones that are important to me, I've worked on, and they're moving in the right direction. I have a wonderful husband. For the most part, our relationship is awesome. Of course, we all disagree, but Terry and I have a great relationship, and I'm thankful for that. So I don't really have any issues in that area. Home environment kind of to me goes hand in hand with your relationships. If your home environment is hostile, I think you have to assess that. I think that causes so much stress and strain on your health. So I'm very satisfied. I have a really nice home environment for the most part, and I don't have any issues there, but I know if it's volatile, that can definitely cause problems. Home cooking, we do. I have really reshifted my focus. I'm working on a new meal plan strategy. I'm going to try it out for a little bit. That may be a video coming up in the future, kind of helping you guys. I've tried all kinds of meal plan things in the past, and some worked, some didn't, but I'm trying something new. So as I try that out, I may come back and let you guys kind of see what I'm doing. So far, it's working pretty good. So I'm really satisfied. I feel like that I can get off track with this one. My husband does a lot of the cooking, and sometimes he gets tired of cooking. So the new meal plan seems to be resonating with him. He feels more like he knows what's going on. I think he gets discouraged if he doesn't know what the plan is when he needs to cook or what to lay out. And so I feel like having a plan is beneficial to him as far as him carrying out the meal plan. So I may get back with you guys on that. We'll see how it goes. Physical activity. This is one where I think I could do a little better sometimes. I am working with a personal trainer at this time, and I'm liking what we're doing. We're doing a lot of strength training, which I think at my age as a female is very important. I also think that that's helping me achieve goals, maybe goals that I didn't even know I needed to set. How about that? I've always looked at the scale as my primary goal, but I'm seeing changes in my body that are very positive, and my clothes are fitting better, even getting too big in some cases, and I'm really happy with that. So physical activity, even though I think I could do better, I feel like I'm moving in the right direction, so it's pretty good. The next one is health, and it's not as good. I would say I'm middle of the wedge on this. I know you guys know I've been struggling with health, and I've been doing a lot of things. I'm still working on a lot of things. I'm going to do an update in a separate video, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, but health is something that we take for granted. And I want you all to think about your own health situations, how you feel, the energy you have. All of those things are so important, and they can be signals of early health issues. And I ignored those for a long time. I just kept pushing myself. So I think evaluating this area is super, super important. The next one is education. I mean, I'm happy with that. I think education is something that we should be constantly seeking. I feel like in some form I'm always learning. I mean, I'm satisfied with the degree I have, but I can't just let that be it. So I think being a lifetime learner is super important to me. And I think depending on what track you're on, that depends on, your educational satisfaction there. Career. Ooh, this is a big one. So I've been very blessed. For 25 years, I have had a career and a job that I absolutely loved. So in the past year and a half, I've really been having some doubts, I guess, about the future, what the future holds for me in my career as a physical therapist. I even did the health coaching program thinking I might try career change, and that really didn't work out for me at this point. So I'm not sure. I'm stepping out of my role as a supervisor because of stress, but I'm evaluating a career change. I'm open to it. I'm waiting for the Lord to show me what my next move is. So we'll see. That's something that I'm not satisfied in at this time, and I know it's causing some strain on my health. So I'm really evaluating that area. The next one is finances. Terry and I have not been the best with money, no lie to tell. I'm a spender, and oftentimes that's gotten me in trouble over the years. But it's something we've really worked on in the past 5 years. We've downsized our home. We're debt free, thank the Lord. And so that's really helped us in achieving some goals that we set, and I'm very thankful for where we are financially. We could certainly do better. I had a retirement call this morning. I'm working on my retirement and just getting prepared for the future. Terry's already retired, so we do have some things to work on, certainly with finances, but I feel like we're in a pretty good place. I also want to say with finances that it's not just about having money to spend on yourself and what you want, although that's super nice, and I'm certainly a person that enjoys a good shopping trip. But I've learned that for my financial satisfaction, finding a small amount in the beginning to give to some kind of cause that I support and that I'm passionate about has made me feel more financially satisfied. I feel like that I'm not just frivolously spending money on myself. I'm taking some of that I would spend on a new outfit or whatever, and engaging it into something or putting it into something that is important. So I think you should assess that that's really important to helping you feel satisfied financially. Creativity. So creativity, I'm not much on, to be honest. I look at that probably as art, music. I don't have any of those talents necessarily. I do enjoy singing, mostly to myself in the car, because most people don't want to hear me sing. But I feel like my primary creative outlet would be writing. That's where I feel the most led creatively. And so I'm really going to be working on that in the future. I'm working with a Christian coach right now to kind of see where I need to go with that. And so I feel pretty satisfied with creativity as far as it applies to me. All right, so that winds up the circle. I've kind of let you see how I'm evaluating myself in each of the categories. It's something that's a little time consuming. You need to spend a good hour at least, I would say, looking at each category, maybe more. It might be a good time to drag out your journal and jot down ideas in each category, things that you want to work on in each category. I think this would be an ideal way to set your goals for the year. If you've got an area where you're really struggling, then set yourself some goals in 2022 to work on those things. It's not too early to start thinking about goals for next year. I'm very much a goal-oriented person. So with that, I'm going to wind up the video. I hope you guys have kind of enjoyed seeing this side of our primary food and how that impacts and affects our health. And then I wanted to share a little more personally about how I use it for myself, and I'm trying to move forward in my own health goals. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in the next one.